and she delivers community crossovers, yeah. And they have a play for us, and so they're going to tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, hey, good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, my bad. Everybody, my name is Victoria Mexicano. I coordinate the Community Crossover Project. It's a theater project, collective, however you want to call it. We, as a first try, we were exploring the perception of immigration using theater, spoken word, and creative writing. This piece is more from the perception of second generation and indigenous community. We went to Six Nations for a day retreat. We talked to them. Part of the performance was wrote that day. We have one member that is from Six Nations, JR. He wasn't able to come today, so we will apologize from him. And I really hope you enjoy it. Just open mind. Thank you. As an introduction, we have a spoken word piece with Hodo, he's part of the team too, about Islamophobia. So it's just like part of the thing.
Hi everyone, my name's Hodo.
What's up, Carter?
I start off with a blank paper and a pen, writing down all the thoughts I don't have the courage to say to them, my sweet escape. Fleeing from the reality of never being good enough, just an ordinary girl searching for acceptance, label me oppressed yet still have the nerve to speak of diversity. See, I'm 23, a Muslim female born and raised on this land that I call home but still not welcome. I am not good enough? On September 11, 2001, terrorism hijacked my religion. 11 years, 2 months, and 18 days to be exactly living in fear. 98,328 hours of constant tears. 5,899,680 minutes of bloodshed. And 353,980,800 seconds of being called a terrorist. But who's counting? Malcolm X once wrote, if you are not careful, the papers will have you hating those who are being oppressed and loving those who are doing the oppressing. Wake up. Your 9/11 is our 24/7, and I don't say that to justify the lives that are lost, but I'm asking you to wake up. An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. They use the instrument of war to try and teach us a lesson, but who are you fooling when you're killing innocent mothers and children? Wake up. How can you blame an entire faith for the actions of a minority? Islamophobic hate mongers work in the minds of the ignorant, and it's funny. I could have sworn I heard them say that Muslim women don't have voices of their own, yet they assume the role of monkey say, monkey do, mirroring their every move as these monkeys in suits try and tell us to go back to where we came from, as they stand on the land that is soaked by the natives' blood. Wake up. What do I have to do for you to listen to me? Should I create a movie depicting everything you believe in and call it freedom of speech? Or should I whip my hair back and forth because it's too much for you to comprehend that wearing my hijab is liberating? No. I will not conform to your basic standards so that I can be accepted. I'm sorry, my body doesn't speak for me. And I'm sorry that I don't give you something to look at before you check my personality, but God gave us minds for a reason, and it's my job to put it to use. And whether or not you choose to use yours is up to you, and I'm not here to make anyone feel bad, but I was placed here to tell the truth. So to end on a lighter note, I'm Nabi wa salam, peace, definition of Islam. Someone came.
Foya, Hanima, Jaga, Habiba, Okaya, her brother, Where?
Kaja, Miriam, her mother, her mother, her mother, her mother, her mother.
Adra, Fatima, Rafa, Nadia, her mother, her mother, her mother.
Yusuf, Asha, Kafia, Ikram, and Hans.
Rahma, Shukri, her mother, her mother, her mother, her mother, her mother. This red line represents the lineage of our mothers. Usually we trace the lineage to our fathers. However, in this case, we will trace it to our mothers because they're the ones who kept our family ties together throughout our generation. I'm afraid of heights.
I'm afraid of failure.
Fear of dogs.
I'm afraid of spiders.
I'm afraid of being judged.
I'm afraid of clowns. I'm afraid of commitment.
I'm afraid of losing myself.
I'm afraid of success.
I'm afraid of being different.
I'm afraid of being fast.
I'm afraid of people finding out that I actually can't spell. I'm afraid of going to the dentist.
I'm afraid of dogs.
I'm afraid of forgetting my lines.
I'm afraid of being alone.
I'm afraid of losing my family.
I'm afraid of my culture and my language becoming extinct. Although we're all different, we're actually the same because fear has no geographical boundaries. Assalamu alaikum. Bye, Santa. Hi.
How are you? Where are you from?
I'm from Somalia.
No, Meshikali.
Yeah, well, you're not from here.
Somali ma.
Canada.
Canada mo ba?
Go back to
Canada mo ba? Mesha
You don't look with us.
Mono eh.
Oh my god, look at your scarf.
Do you have hair under there?
Great.
Are you sure?
Wait, what country are you from?
I'm from Somalia. I'm in Canada.
No, really, like what country are you from?
Yeah.
Oh my god, do you know pirates? Really? So your family doesn't own a boat or anything? Oh, okay.
I went to Somalia for 4 years, so therefore I forgot the language. When I came back to Canada, I was treated like an immigrant. I was bullied because I never spoke the language. The two places I considered home, I was considered an immigrant.
Dear Amina, lately I've been thinking about where I feel accepted in my community, and I thought of it. It's a field in front of my house. It's a soccer field where friends, family, and neighbors all come together. So the other day there was a community barbecue, and my family and I were all outside having fun and just having a good time. Later on that day, I had to leave and take the subway. As I was waiting at the crosswalk, I looked onto the street. I looked onto the cars. Some were moving, some were not. I looked out onto people's faces. Some were inviting and friendly, and others were rude and uninvited. This scene was on my mind the whole day. It later came to me. All those people's faces are a representation of the people outside of my community. People who are not always friendly, inviting, kind, where there is no soccer field for communities to come together, where at times I feel like an outsider.
Immigration is a state of mind. Actually, immigration is my mindset. Come to think of it, immigration is my isolated confinement. Where the ceiling heights is told to you and you have no floor, walls are so close you're practically stone. Immigration is all of known. Immigration is my home. Yes, I am Canadian born, but for some reason that still doesn't make me half as Canadian as Rob Ford, but he's not the problem. It's the answers of his generation. See, they claim peace but always use war as justification. They tell us not to steal, yet they stole Canada from the First Nations. I guess intimidation undermines immigration, right? They made faulty deals and bogus negotiation, gave them almost none of the land that they invaded. So if the natives can't claim Canada, why the hell do we claim it? And honestly, I'm not even sure what book Native history is in or even what page. School is mandatory, but I guess silence is paid, and I'm living in a land where the crooks are in the spotlights, owners backstage. At least I found the one place where I'm not viewed as strange, because I can be an immigrant in any different place as long as I can be home for just a couple of days, because the one place where I'm not viewed differently is right here on stage. So for everyone who's felt like being an outsider was a struggle, just know that for every puzzle piece there's always a puzzle. And to the Native people, if it counts, you have me on your side, and I vow never to be blind to what others disguise. And thank you, Canada, because I finally found my home, but it's right here on stage. And the mere fact that I stood up here to recite these words from my page shows the length that I would go for the truth, even if I'm afraid.
I got a chance to go back to Somalia. I saw how everyone lived it as so normal while I was praying to get out of here ASAP. A few months went by and I haven't returned back until I started to research the history of Somalia. I now wish I spent more time spending time with my grandparents and asking how their life was before the Civil War broke out and getting to know my family history in the short amount of time I was there. I pray that I get another opportunity to go back to Somalia. For me, Somalia was like home away from home. It may be called the most dangerous place on earth, but for me, it's just another city in another country that deserves a chance, not something just to pass by.
My home is not the only place, but it's one of the places where I feel like myself. Where I don't have to be so independent because I know that the people I depend on won't fail on me. I'm surrounded by my loved ones, and it may not look like the White House, but it's where I feel most comfortable. It was taken away from me when I was shipped off to Africa for 5 months. It was different. A different lifestyle, different people, and something I'm not used to. I was lonely for a bit, but it was the type of lonely where there's people surrounding you and they wanted to be your friends, but they just didn't connect with you. They didn't understand me and looked at me as if I was some type of alien, when in reality, we were all Gambian. 2 months later, I met my grandmother. She showed me my culture and where I'm really from. Showed me that even though I wasn't born in Canada, I was still Gambian. And she showed me that I belonged and really understood.
Good morning, class. So today we're gonna skip chapter 6 on the indigenous people because I feel like the chapter's kind of short. And we,
Are we skipping about the Alpha people?
the alpha what?
You know the Alpha people, the indigenous people of this land?
First Nation Canada.
No. Okay, since you guys are so interested in this topic, what does an indigenous person look like to you?
I think the ones that like wear the moccasins.
They have the dream catcher.
Yeah, and they live like what in like isolated areas, I guess.
The teepees.
Yeah, that's where they live.
They're not teepees, they're reservations, and they live in houses.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Well, what does a Canadian person look like to you?
They're always nice, I guess.
Yeah, they're very polite.
They were Canadian goose jackets.
They watch people that Canada.
Okay.
Canadian is someone who's born here.
And like they have like blonde hair and blue eyes.
Wait, but I was born here and I'm Canadian, but I don't fit that description.
Okay. All right. So then, what is an immigrant look like to you?
They wear colorful clothes, bright colors.
They work hard.
They must be. They have what, like 20 kids?
Well, all I know is that they have so much life experiences to offer. Like, they know how to speak so many kind of languages, and they come from different cultures too.
They all have kids.
I'm an immigrant. An immigrant looks like me.
Well, I have a friend who's from Europe, and she just recently came here to Canada, and she's just so happy to be home.
Okay. Okay. Well, so if an immigrant looks like a Canadian looks like an immigrant, what does an immigrant look like?
Well, in my community, an immigrant is white because it's the person that came to our countries first and invaded and didn't ask any question or permission to come in. And they just took it as it was theirs. So for us, they just came and decided these weird rules about who belong here and who is an immigrant and these policies. So an immigrant for us is white.
Okay.
I am a mountain. I am a tall tree. Oh, I am a swift wind sweeping the country. I am a river down in the valley. Oh, I am a vision, and I could see clearly. If anybody asks me who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, you made it, oh, I'm the world's greatest.
Thank you.
Thank you.